What's up, everybody? It's Feather. Welcome to Get Feathered. It's time for a deep dive for Sagittarius for 2023. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching my content, for checking out my other channels here on YouTube, for your likes, shares, subscribes, your donations of love, and for purchasing readings with me. You are amazing. Let's jump into the reading screen. If you're here during the live, thumbs up and click the live chat button down below and interact with me wherever it pops up on your device. It doesn't matter where, it doesn't matter where Sagittarius is at in your chart. There's typically a little bit of a backstory in here. So if you resonate with that, cool. If not, watch a different deep dive or check out one of my other readings or channels here on YouTube. What's up, Mary baby? How you doing, beautiful? I hope you're doing well today. All right, Sagittarius, doesn't matter where it's at in your chart. 2023. Fred, what's up for Sagittarius 2023? What's up for my Saggies? Coming out of... Yes. Coming out of a period of lack or lack mentality. This could be releasing lack mentality. This could be coming out of the dark, coming out of the shadows. Oh shit, Wheel of Fortune, your energy, own it. So if you have been stagnant, this could be financially. So for those of you that have been dealing with financial loss, you're going to be rebuilding here, especially the beginning of 2023. Moving in and going throughout 2023. What's the numerology? Oh yeah, you're getting some wishes granted this year. Fulfillment on many levels. And balance and harmony for the first time in quite a while. So for those of you that are, this is really coming through strong, there's going to be some kind of financial change for you. If you have been dealing with, I mean, this could be any area of your life, but I'm really feeling it's financial. If you have been let's just say not minding your budget and things have just been kind of getting out of control, that's going to come into control. You're going to get control over it in 2023. You're going to have the strength to wrangle it, wrestle it, and it's not going to be that bad. Some of you might be coming into some sort of payoff, payout, inheritance, something like that, with the Wheel of Fortune, but things are going to be changing. I told you, fulfillment this year for 2023. It's a year of 7, but for so it may take some discipline, and that's, you got the courage to get through it. You've got the strength to get through it. Just be patient. It will be fixing. It will be repairing itself. Some of you may be getting a new job very quickly, actually. Things are going to change. Things are going to turn around for you quickly in 2023 from where you have been. That was a pretty strong message. Things are going to be changing. Things are going to be turning around for you. Thanks, Fred. Quickly in 2023. Okay. Especially if you lost a job or lost your business, or you've been if you were demoted, if you lost a job, something happened in prior years, maybe the past 5 years. Some of you may have been trying to repair or rebuild yourself over the last 5 years. Aries season is going to be very important for you. So, March to April. Isn't it March to April? Y'all, I can't remember all this shit all the time. I got too much going on in my brain. April to May or March to April? Taurus is April to May. So between mid-March and mid-March to mid-May, it's going to, thank you, Spirit, is going to be very important for you financially or financial changes. Okay, some of you might be getting a new job or getting this payout, this windfall, whatever this might be. Okay. Payout, handout, whatever it is. It's a big change. Wheel of Fortune's on it. Says luck is spinning in your favor. You a lucky bug in 2023, it looks like. I would be mad that half of the deck flew out, but the Ten of Cups flew out. And I'm going to leave it there because I saw it. I'm leaving it there. It flew out on the Wheel of Fortune for Saggies. I just said you a lucky bug. You got the Ten of Cups. Y'all ready for the deep dive on this? I'm ready for the deep dive on this. I want to know what this Ten of Cups is. Now, Ten of Cups doesn't necessarily mean it's with another person, although it can be. It could simply be, I'm sorry, y'all, my curls, my waves are massive today. So, woke up with big waves. So it's a thing, okay? It's a thing. It's bothering me. Ten of Cups does not mean always that it's with another person, although it can be. It means in your life, this is bliss. This is that harmony. This is that happiness. This is that total emotional fulfillment that you apparently haven't experienced within the last 5 years for some of you. Some of you may have been in the outs with a Leo. Some of you may have been in the outs with a Sag. Some of you were just on the outs with yourself, financially and otherwise. Lack mentality is never a great thing. But when I get to Five of Pentacles, it doesn't always mean, it just can simply mean that you've come through, or you are releasing. Let's just find out what you're releasing. Let's find out. The Five of Pentacles for me, for those of you that are wanting to know, I will be putting together a tarot course because I've had a lot of you asking for me to teach you how to tarot. So I'll be putting together a tarot course. That will be my next big project. I'm actually already started on it, but for those that want to learn how to tarot with feather, I'm putting together a course because I do infuse the coaching in it, and I will teach you how to do that as well. The Five of Pentacles to me, for those of you that want to know how I do my timing, well, I hear timing, I say timing, how long Fred tells me. But if you're not connected to source like that, like I am, or you're not, you don't hear your downloads that easily or quickly, I simply ask inside myself, source or self, what's the timing on this? And the first card that I am attracted to, I pay attention to it. And then with the other cards that go along with it, kind of give me a feeling or a sensation. All right. So I go with the tingles. What makes me feel it? So the Five of Coins means that you've had a turbulent past. Hard knocks. Hard knock life. Turbulent past. You could have gone through full separations, divorces, suffered traumatic childhoods. You name it. This is fear of abandonment, fear of lack, fear of being lonely for the rest of your life, being left out in the cold, being abandoned, being ghosted, being disowned, that kind of thing. So over the last 5 years, it's been a rebuilding phase for you. and this kind of energy with the strength coming in here is, sometimes you have to wrestle this shit to the ground. Sometimes you have to wrestle with yourself or wrestle with what you've gone through. But things are going to be getting a lot easier for you moving forward with the friggin' Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Cups. Easy street from where you've been. So let's go through this Five of Coins. What are you releasing? Woo! Ladder booking. What's up, baby? Hey, Terry. Ladder booking. I'm so not used to seeing that name. Bettina. Ooh, you did the 10 weeks vibes reset. Sweet. Keep going. Keep doing it. Oh, thanks, Terry. Terry says, love your channel. Become a new subscriber today. Welcome, welcome. Go check out your gifts in my description box. Oh, hell yes. Hell yes. Some of you, this could have been a divorce. Okay. Some of you, this could have been a job. Toxic behaviors. Fears, deep fears, obsession, obsessive overthinking, negative shit. Okay. When the devil is out here, the emperor is here, my way or the highway. It's got to be my way all the time. I say that because the King of Wands is in reverse. So you may have been really, really putting your nose to the grindstones, so to say, the last 5 years trying to rebuild your finances or rebuild yourself in general. Rebuild a business, build a business. I know what Saggy this resonates with. Where's Ziggy? I haven't seen Ziggy in a while. I love you, Ziggy, if you're watching this later. We miss you. Oh, shit. Okay. Some of you may have been recovering from a divorce or a separation. So you've been really trying to rebuild yourself, and in rebuilding yourself and growing your pentacles, it's taken some time. Not only has it taken some time, but you're trying to build an empire. You're going from an energy of the King of Wands reverse and the King of Swords reverse, which is very negative. Like, you could have been dealing with this kind of person. This could have been you as a person. Vindictive, malicious, verbally abusive, narcissistic tendencies, coupled with the devil. Oh, there was some toxic behavior for sure. That could have been who this was or what has been in your past. It could have been your own behaviors, whatever. So this is what you have been steadily trying to release and let go of. Okay. Some of you, this may have been a father figure, a spouse. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. But there's the Five of Pentacles. So you may have been dealing with people in your past and situations in your past that didn't just affect your money, it affected you. But you took the time to rebuild yourself. Like death to an old way of life, or old way of living, or I mean, just completely different. Going from the Five of Pentacles life to Wheel of Fortune, Ten of Cups. It's a like, you talking about wiping the slate clean. Like, not only did you take, like, I just see Fred, what are you showing me? A black chalkboard. You know, the old chalkboards? You know what I'm talking about. Squeaky chalk. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. Ugh. I see that full of just all kind of crazy writing and all kind of stuff. And you're just like busy trying to clean it up. No matter how much, it gets written on and it gets like screwed up and plans changed. And so I just see you wax on, wax off, you know what I mean? But no matter how much in your past, this is crazy, but go with me for a second. Just go along with me on this trip. No matter how much you've tried to like take that rag, it's been a rag or an eraser, and you've tried to just wipe it clean, try and clean up the mess, it just got more smudged and more chalky and more smudgy and chalky, and it never actually came clean. It was just a smudged mess. It was all cloudy, foggy. You may not even remember a lot of your past. Some of you may not have a lot of recollection of your past. Some of you may. But it's like this kind of energy moving forward into 2023. Yeah, Let's not go there, Smooth. Let's not. It's like you're taking a different approach, or you've taken over the last 5 years, some sort of, between 3 and 5 years, a different approach to doing things. And it's like you're taking a pressure washer, like for most of you, kind of like where you go pull in and you get your car cleaned off. You're taking that high powered pressure washer to this wall, and you're just eradicating all of the cloud, all of the dust, all of the chalk, and it's black again, pure black. Starting with a clean slate, like completely clean. Because that's what the Wheel of Fortune and Ten of Cups is. Completely different from the past that you've lived. Especially for those of you that have dealt with narcissists. This would have been that energy. It could have been abusive parents, abusive spouses, male or female. I don't give a fuck. Just because they come out as kings does not mean that it was male or masculine. Some of you Sagittarius men were emasculated by the people that you were with in the past. Emasculated. They tried to emasculate you. They tried to that happens. That's what narcissistic tendencies are. People try and verbally abuse you, tell you're not worthy, you're not good enough, you'll never be good enough. So this in turn makes you feel like you aren't good enough. And it pisses you off, makes you angry, turns you bitter and resentful. There's two different ways that this could be approached. Sometimes people get depressed when they deal with that kind of individual or that kind of energy. And then some people turn it into bitterness, resentfulness, and anger. And that either way, you do shit that fucks up your life. You make bad financial decisions. You don't plan. You plan poorly. Sometimes you could get into alcoholism, drug abuse, porn addiction, sex addiction, toxic behaviors. You can become mean, you become angry, and you can lash out at people and things. There's a huge change that's coming in here because you're deciding to make this change yourself. You may have already started doing this over the last 5 years. You've made this decision, male or female. You recognize that you needed structure, or that you are the authority in your life, and you began regulating the kinds of people and situations that you were dealing with. And that also includes how you spend your money or your job, your career path and things like that. Like, this is almost as if somebody tells you your whole life you can't do something, or you can't be, so like you want to be a doctor. You'll never be able to afford that. You're not smart enough for that. There's never been anybody in our family that wanted to be a doctor. Why would you ever want to go that route? Why would you ever? Anybody you date, anybody you grow up with, it's almost as if they try and dissuade you from living the life that you want to live. No, that doesn't exist. It's a fairy tale. But then after a while, you're like, you know what? Maybe 20 years down the road, you're like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm going to go be a doctor. I'm going to do it. I don't care if I get the degree and I die the next day. I will do it because it's what I want to do. This is that kind of thing. Like, annihilate. That's what you're doing. You're annihilating that part of your past where people have told you all the wrong shit. It's like Sagittarius is like, I tell me what to do. I decide what's best for me. I make the decisions for me. This is boss ass energy. It's the boss ass energy there is. Being your own boss. Go into college, making the choices, and maybe it's been a slow progression over the last 5 years of making better choices for yourself. 2023 is the switch up. It's the point where, Fred, that was probably really loud, and I do apologize. 2023 is the switch up, Saggies, where you actually see the payouts. This is where you see the payouts because you've been patient. You've been working through it, working on it, and releasing it. What's this Wheel of Fortune? No. I want to know why this strength, because strength is having compassion and unconditional love for yourself. It is being patient and also having strength, inner strength, and wisdom to know that what you want, what you desire is yours to own. It's no one else controls you unless you allow them to. I want to know what gave you the strength over the last 5 years. What gave you the strength, Saggy? This is you doing the work for yourself. What gave you the strength? What gave you the strength to Damn. Strength again at the bottom of the deck. It could have been a Leo. Could have been a Cancer. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Could have been a job offer. You wanted stability. You got tired of moving. Some of you may have gotten tired of moving, traveling. What were you distant from? You are telling me you have a lust for life again. You kept repeating cycles. Constantly on the move. You're telling me you were constantly on the move. Repetitive cycles, constantly. So maybe you had a job or commitments in your life. You were constantly on the go. So you could have had a job or a relationship or a commitment. It's like all of these things in the past. And it could have been relationships, job, commitments of some kind. You're telling me that you wanted to slow the fuck down. You got tired of moving, and I understand that if you're moving from relationship to relationship or job to job, or you're constantly traveling for work or something, you want to slow down and take a step back. Okay, I'm telling you, big waves today. My hair is whatever. You never know what you're going to get here. Neither do I. You wanted to slow down because strength is again at the bottom of the deck. This is what you wanted. It was almost as if. So for the Saggies there, let me know if this is even resonating with any of you, because wow. But it's almost as if you lived in, this could be like, damn, I'm here in high life or fast lane living. High life or fast lane living, like jet setting, like constantly on the go, constantly moving, constantly doing things, constantly, not just for yourself, but this could be like corporate jobs, where you're the boss. You're just constantly jetting across the country, back and forth all over the country, building businesses, building businesses here, building contracts here, negotiations. You're all the way. You're like, I feel a lot of movement. This could have been in relationships where they wanted you to do everything. And I mean everything. Do the dishes, clean the floors, take care of the kids, do the jobs, do the outside care on that, like everything. And people are constantly pulling your energy in like a gajillion different directions. Plus you're working. Plus you've got kids. Some of you, most of you. Whew. Damn, I'm tired from looking at this shit. You were like, I'm tired. But this was you having to be your own champion because you realized that this fast movement or this, it wasn't making you happy. It wasn't helping you manifest. It wasn't what you really truly wanted. And it was making you unhappy. Maybe you moved too fast in relationships, some of you. Oh, thank you, Melissa. Hey, Melissa. Smooth. What's up, Hugo? Damn. Oh. Well, I didn't say my hair wasn't beautiful. I know my hair is beautiful, and thank you very much. It's just I woke up with massive waves. And they're like way. I can't do anything to control them. Because if I tried to pull it back in a ponytail or something, they're still gonna wave. And then you can't smooth that shit out. You can't. I'm just saying. I have volume today. I'm voluminous. Voluminous. I love it. This is real quick. It's real fast, and it wasn't pleasing to you. And you had to be your own champion here. You had to recognize that this wasn't making you happy. And in all actuality, I told you before, there's two different things. First, there's bitterness and resentfulness and anger and frustration and all that shit. Or depression. There's two ways to deal with this kind of tragedy and this kind of whatever it was that you dealt with in the past. So you've been in rebuilding phase over the last 3 to 5 years for most of you. Really 5 years, what it's telling me. And this could be like, oh my gosh, I'm tired of taking the kids to soccer. It's like I see single mom or single dad doing it all. And the other parent just, the co-parent, not doing a fucking thing. You're doing it all. All of it. But damn sure that person would be the kind of person to take accountability for it. That may not be the case, but I'm feeling that coming through for somebody. It's almost as if you're the one raising the kids. You're the one taking care of the kids. You're the one doing everything. You were working. You're bringing in the money. You're doing it all. And that other motherfucker, excuse me, it's an 18 and up show. Be 18 and up. Hey, everybody in shadows. I'm Feather. You never know what you're going to get here, but I'm going to tell you the damn truth. It's almost as if that co-parent who doesn't show up, but maybe every other weekend, takes accountability. But oh yeah, we have great children. We have wonderful children. That may be so, but you're not the one being the one doing it. You're not doing it. You're not the one raising the kids. You're not the one helping out. You're not the one teaching them life fucking lessons here. Whatever. That could be one scenario. Others are, again, corporate living, constantly on the go. Your feet are never on the ground. I mean, your feet are never on the ground here. You cycled through this or you dealt with this for quite some time. Some of you may have moved with the military or something like that, or been in many, many relationships, and you were it was constant movement. Never settles. Never. Your feet are never on the ground and you're never settled. And you decided that you made the decision that this was no longer making you happy. So you severed ties with that, and you had to be your own champion here. And love yourself unconditionally enough to say, it's got to stop. It's got to stop. It is not what I want. It's turning out negative. My manifestation, what is showing up for me is not what I truly want. It's making me very depressed or unhappy. Okay. Constantly. You made the decision. You're telling me again, I love myself enough to change this. I love myself enough to get a change here. Okay. All right. Moving into 2023 now that we have the backstory, if that fits. Moving forward, 2023, we got the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Cups, babies, and the Five of Coins in reverse. Letting go of lack mentality because you chose that you were tired of lack. Maybe you were lacking sleep or peace. Thanks, Melissa. Why did your Saggy break your phone? Aw, my amazingness. Thank you. You're so sweet. All right. 2023, you took this. All right, we'll move this out of the way. Since we're focusing on 2023 now, moving forward, you have the Ten of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. Let us see what is spinning in your favor for 2023. Thank you, Hugo. Well, Alexandra, for your story. But please remember, try to keep your story, tight, discreet. If you want to chat, that's cool. But we don't like trigger warnings in here. We don't like triggering in here. So your entire story might trigger people. So keep it chill. Don't gotta tell us the whole story. Wheel of Fortune. 2023 for Sag. Seeing things clearly. Oh, shit. You might be getting a divorce or separation. You might be going through a divorce or separation. You're healing after a divorce or separation. You are seeing things clearly. Look, you're telling me twice. You are seeing things for what they truly are in 2023. You could be dealing with Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, Sag. You are truly doing your healing. You're no longer allowing the pain of the past, which is a Three of Swords, which is typically what Five of Pentacles is. Sits on top of it. Okay. You are seeing things and people for who they truly are. Some of you are seeing that you may need therapy, or that you've done a lot of healing, or that you may have needed therapy. You may need it, or you may have needed it. But this is you recognizing, almost as if that was at the bottom of the deck, that you've healed a lot of things for yourself. Okay. This is you recognizing and seeing clearly what you've gone through, what you've healed, what you've overcome, what you've let go of. Okay. Some of you, again, your finances, you may need to tighten your budget, work on that. Make sure you're getting that shit solid. Okay. And this is you seeing that how far you've come over the last 5 years. This is you telling me, I recognize I was in pain. I recognize that I went through a lot, and that I needed to take time to heal. That I needed to take time to sit back, and I've done it. Because what's showing up is depression, sadness, grief, mourning. You're reflecting. You're telling me, I see where I've been, how sad I've been, what I was going through, how dark, how far I went down. how sad I was. Wow. Some of you may have been mourning a loved one, the loss of a loved one. This could have been somebody that transitioned over. It could have been somebody from way, way back. Sometimes we hold on to those kinds of energies for a very long time, and we never really express that or heal it. Okay. And that can show up in many areas of our life. Okay. Lack mentality, financial loss, negative relationships, bad relationships for some of you. Really negative relationships. Negative relationship with yourself. You're seeing this clearly in what needs to be cut ties with. You're showing me that I am Sagittarius. The 2023 is about you recognizing where you've come from and what you've learned. Okay. Where you've come from. Being proud of what you have, what you've done, where you've come from. Some of you, oh Lord, I got to get a fresh deck on this, but this is 2023 is about you. A big change here is about you recognizing your changes, your positive changes. Some of you, it is separation and finalizing divorce. For others of you, it's just seeing clearly that you needed to heal and how much you've actually healed and changed for yourself over the last 5 years, and how much you've actually, some of you, this is a homecoming. Some of you are coming back to self or homecoming. Remember I said that your feet were never on the ground. You were constantly busy, always on the go. Okay. Constantly on the go, always jet setting, always busy. So, if you're an older individual, maybe you spent the last 30 years of your life working and just on the go constantly, and you didn't really have a home life, or, so your kids are grown and you were busting your ass working and constantly on the go, building businesses for people and paying for your children's things to have. And finally 30 years later, you're just like, it's time to retire. It's time to come back home. So you can actually settle down and slow down, slow the pace. So some of you may have been going through a period of retirement or slowing down so that you could get to a period where you could retire. Okay. So this is great energy because you're recognizing your own growth, your own healing, and being proud of what you've overcome, what you've gone through, and how far you've come in 5 years. This is what brings in the 10 of Cups. So this is like a homecoming. You're coming back to center. You're coming back. You're grounding yourself. You're coming back to center. And some of you may be moving back home, putting down roots, settling down, settling in, finding a groove. Okay. And some of you, this may be with another person, but this could just be with your family, your children, your grandchildren, that kind of stuff, whatever it is. After all of the time that you've been away and all of the fog that you've been living in, this is a homecoming for most of you within yourself. It's that harmony, and a lot of you have been wanting that fulfillment for quite some time. So it's releasing the toxic or the traumas, the toxicity, the traumas, the fears, the behaviors, toxic behaviors for some of you. some of your addictions, and kind of the clouds, the fog is lifting, and you're able to see what it is where you've come from and what you've overcome and where you're headed next. This is being proud of that, even though it may not have been wonderful, but you're looking at what you've invested your time and energy into. You're looking at your investments. Maybe some of you are looking at investing in 2023. All right, what's this Ten of Cups? So as the wheel turns on a Ten of Cups, which is happiness long term. It's a cycle of love. It's love. It's ending cycles. It's taking responsibility for your emotions. Fulfilling your karma, your emotional karma, any debts, emotional debts, karmic being paid off. Some of you may have been dealing with a Pisces. Why are my cards upside down? I don't like that. All right, let's see. What's this Ten of Cups? Fred, tell us what this Ten of Cups is. Clean it up. Man, you got 3 swords out here. 3 Excaliburs. So there's a lot of clarity coming through. Oh my God, you got a perfect match. You do have perfect match here. Oh my God. I can't get around that, y'all. I can't get around it. For Sagittarius, is the ones that have actually done the work over the last 5 years and you've faced your shadows. This would not have been an easy task. You have faced your shadows. Well, I tell you what, you were the shadow, probably. Okay? Clean it up, Fred. Negative. Clean it up. Thank you, Fred. Clean it up. Let's have some fun in here. It's a negative energy that I'm feeling. So some of you could have had a lot of trauma in your past. Hard knock life. A lot of trauma in your past. I don't know how long for some of you, but your movements. I don't know how long you were on the go or how much you moved or where you moved or what that meant to you, but it was constant movement, constant on the go, always busy, always busy, always busy. A lot of times we do that kind of thing so we don't have to think about the shit that we've lived, that we've done, or that we've seen, okay? The pains that we carry, the traumas. A lot of us are obsessively busy so that we don't have to review, so we don't have to think. We don't have to look at that shit. We stay busy so our mind doesn't go back to those places, okay? We don't think about it. 2023, you are. Because a lot of you over the last 5 years, you have been doing this work. You have been doing this, dealing with your shadow work, looking at your past, seeing what you've gone through, the seeds you've planted, the investments you've placed, the time and effort. You're taking time in 2023 to let go of and finally finish your healing up, your healing cycle. Because this is actually going to this is what brings in your love relationship. This is family and love relationship. So reconnecting with family, coming back home, reconnecting with family and friends, reconnecting with yourself emotionally, reconnecting with that, your community and your emotional side of you, which I feel like most of you are telling me, and Fred, that most of my Saggies have been going through a lot of healing over the last 5 years. You could have been going through therapy. You could have been in alcohol, AA, NA. You could have been just doing cleanup work, okay? Detoxing and reviewing all of this stuff that you've dealt with that you didn't want to slow down long enough to see. Severing ties with that. Okay. And it's finally severing ties with some of you. It is a father figure, a family member, a husband or a wife, some sort of negative. I mean, you could have dealt with, it's seeing it clearly. You're seeing it clearly in 2023 what you didn't want to look at. Okay? But you've made the decision to change things for yourself. You already told me that with the strength. I got to change it. It's got to be done. Well, in 2023, you're actually reviewing all of this stuff from a healed place, from a place of it's not going to wound you. So I'm talking to Sagittariuses who have done their healing work. If you're over here boo-hooing about life and life in general and how it's all fucked up and how, no, I am talking to awakened, aware Sagittarius is here. There's no karmic bullshit here. What you've lived is, but what you're telling me is over the last 5 years, I have become aware of my lack of responsibility, because some of you, this is yours, not just somebody else you dealt with. My frustration, I get, you let go. Some of you weren't responsible. Some of you didn't want commitment. Some of you were very, very stubborn. Some of you weren't very supportive. You weren't reliable. You weren't steady. You weren't stable. Your whole 3D reality was upside down. Your whole 3D stability was upside down. There was no stability. There was possibly lack of responsibility and reliability. You were gone. You were gone. You were all over the place, and you were in that fog. Okay? Living in that fog, living in the delirium, just going wherever you needed to do, doing what you needed to do, so you didn't have to actually take a look at what you've done or where you've come from. Because what you're telling me is you were hurt so badly at some point in your past, and I am not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, and I am not diagnosing at all, but an example of this would be childhood trauma. You're talking about childhood, young adult traumas that the wounding is so deep. You do whatever it takes not to have to look back at it. You just don't, because it hurts so bad. This is like PTSD, people. Okay. I am not diagnosing. I cannot diagnose. I will not diagnose. But this is almost like PTSD or CPTSD, kind of where you get triggered when you think about these kinds of things. This is almost like military veterans that have actually seen war. They come back different. They don't, when they think about those things that they had to do, or the trauma, you understand what I'm saying to you. I'm not trying to trigger anybody. When you go when they go back or it just comes into their mind and they have these memories and stuff, they can't let go. And a lot of them can't be, or they have a lot of fears. They have a lot of deep fears, deep wounding, and a lot of them, especially like Vietnam and things like that, drug addictions and things like that. That's how they cope. Alcohol, drugs, whatever. This is almost like that. So there are some of you that have gone through that kind of deep wounding, regardless of when or what it was that you've gone through, that kept you from, your feet were never on the ground. You weren't able to be responsible, or I don't know. Juju B, thanks, babe. And I am very proud of you. This would not have been easy to overcome. And some of you may be finalizing your therapy or your recovery in 2023 and finally seeing clear for the first time in a long time. This is like drugs and alcohol. Clear. You're clear. You're clear thinking. You're clear minded. And once you sever ties with this fully is when you have the homecoming. Some of you may be going back home. You may be going back home, returning to your parents, returning to your family. But this is the ultimate partnership. This is the ultimate partnership that people want and desire, male or female. They want masculine and feminine. I feel like this is you finally coming into balance with who you truly are. Both sides of yourself. You're coming into balance and alignment with yourself. The Ten of Cups. That's that balance and harmony I said that you've been asking for a long time. After a long time of not being there. Others of you may be going back home or returning to your friends and your family. Okay. Your home life. Others of you, you're coming into alignment with your true divine partner. It's finally coming in 2023 with the Empress and the Emperor. Okay? Your true divine partnership is calling you. And this is the universe. The universe is working this for you. Because you have actually done the work necessary to align with a true counterpart. Okay? Emperor and Empress and the Judgment. Well, when we balance both sides of ourselves, when we balance our energy and we truly do our work and we address the things, and over the last 5 years, you're telling me you've done that. And it would not have been easy. For a lot of you, it would have been a major challenge. You could have gone through a lot of chaos in your life. You're telling me that with the Five of Pentacles. A lot of chaos, a lot of trauma, a lot of abuse. And through it all, you maintained a strength, an inner strength, and it actually assisted you. Because what you did was you learned from those things. And you became stronger because of it. Your challenges make you stronger. I told you there's two things that can normally happen when you go through the school of hard knocks and you deal with traumas and you deal with chaos and you deal with that kind of stuff. You either get tough, either you toughen up, you get mad, you get pissed off, you get bitter, resentful, angry, and you do whatever it takes to just push through, get through. Just gotta do. Or you can go the opposite direction and spiral down to the point where you can't get out of bed. You're really tired. You're exhausted all the time. I don't feel Sagittarius would go that far, but I'm not saying you haven't been there. I'm just saying most Saggies typically use drugs. They're fire. So they're not going to fall into their emotions. They're not going to feel their emotions. They're going to want to be. Sagittarius is wanting to present fire, action. That's why you were so fucking busy all the time doing so much, so that you didn't have to focus on your thoughts and you didn't have to focus on the feelings. And that's why you're closing out a cycle. You're beginning a new chapter in your life, which now is where the last 5 years you've been coming to terms with grounding, with putting in roots, putting down roots, with investing in yourself, investing in your own balance, your own harmony. And now it's time for you to get into the emotions. So it's like you're clearly seeing that you're clearly seeing because the fog is lifting. And a lot of you, if you use drugs and alcohol and you went a little crazy and a little wild for a while, and you went, I don't know, jet setting across the fucking universe, traveling here and there and everywhere else, and you never really slowed down long enough to see what you've gone through or whatever. This year is that year where you are coming to terms with how far you've actually, over the last 5 years, how much you've actually overcome. Okay, so this process has been going on for the last 3 to 5 years for most of you, where you're slowing down, you're grounding, you're putting down roots, you're investing more in yourself, possibly going through therapy and things like that. 2023 is your year where you actually start a new cycle of love, and not only because you've loved yourself enough to go through and truly do your healing, you love and accept yourself 100 for what you've gone through, and you see it. And I told you, it's like taking a high-powered water pressure, a pressurized water system, and just, I can't even get the words. Fred? Pressure washer, thank you. And just obliterating that chalkboard that has just been inundated with so much chalk that it was white. A solid black chalkboard. Huge, like the chalkboard of your life. Everything has just been smudged and wiped out and smudged and wiped out so much that it turned it almost white because of all the chalk smudge on it. And you're just like eradicating it, turning it black, solid black. Again, black. Not this, because it's been so clouded. You're clearly seeing things. And for those of you that are overcoming traumas that are, I don't care what it is in your life, congratulations. For those of you that are coming through and overcoming drug abuse, any kind of narcotics, drugs, alcohol, addictions of any kind, congratulations. You're telling me over the last 5 years, you chose to make this change for yourself. And that is something to be proud of. And that is what you're doing. You're looking at you and what you've overcome. Oh my God. There's the 9 of Cups. I told you this year is about closing out a cycle and being able to see through the fog. It's not see through it. It's eradicate the fog. Finalize your healing and things like that. And this is 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups is self-love. This is being able to feel yourself, loving yourself again. And not only that, but this is something I told you you have been asking for. You've been asking for this for quite some time. Fulfillment. I told you, you're going to be achieving goals, and there's going to be some sort of wish fulfillment this year. Wish fulfillment, a lot of you, is becoming stable emotionally for the first time in a long time. Loving yourself, being able to feel good alone, to feel good within yourself, to feel good about where you've come from and what you've overcome, regardless of what you've lived and the traumas that you've lived. It's being able to fully let it go and move forward. Okay? Full fulfillment. And then once you were at this spot with the 9 of Cups, with self-fulfillment, with feeling good about who you are, where you've come from, what you've experienced, no matter what it is, you only need one more cup. And that's what the 10 cups are. You only need someone else's cup. You blend the cups and you have a 10 of Cups over here. So in 2023, most of you are going to be in very, like you're coming back home. Whether that's with a person, your family, your parents, your friends, whatever it is, there's a homecoming. And if it is a true divine partnership, you are being called to this connection. But I feel like this is just you returning. Some of you, it's just returning home for the first time in a long time. And that's the balance between you and you. Knowing that you're okay, that you're a great person, you feel good about yourself. And then once you're at that point, you are putting down the burdens in 2023. Emotional overwhelmment, betrayals, past hurts, past wounding. Some of you were lied to, betrayed. Some of you have had a lot of emotional wounding throughout your life. Some of you could have been dealing with a cancer. This Cancer new moon, I'm reading this just after the Cancer new moon, may have played a big role in your shift here too. It helped reconnect you with your feminine side, your nurturing side, your love. Some of you have had some serious trust issues when it came to love or trusting your heart space because of what you went through in the past. You're overcoming that. You are overcoming it, and you are there. You're showing me the 3 of Pentacles again, which is what I saw in the beginning. So 2023 is about rebuilding, healing your heart space, healing trust issues, emotional wounding, deep emotional wounding that could go back a long way. Okay? Could have been fear of abandonment. Could have been fear of commitment even. You're putting down that burden. You're rebuilding. And look at you at the 9 of Pentacles, being content and happy in your life. Some of you, again, you are separating or divorcing. But the 9 of Pentacles is feeling that inner strength, independence, and contentment. Okay? Self-assured, self-aware, awake, aware, and paying attention. That's Saggies for 2023. And being proud of yourself for getting to where you are. You're coming back home. You're coming back home. Whatever that means to you, you're balancing and aligning, and you're coming back home. That doesn't look like alignment, but it is alignment. You're aligning with your core values, your core self. You're feeling good about being who you are and being alive again and being you, you know, that's where you've been doing. For those of you that it has been financially, that this was a financial strain, or finances it's not just been finances, it's been all things. But for those of you that are really concerned about your finances are going to be looking really good. Okay. Some of you it may have taken you 9 years to recover or recuperate or rebuild your finances. I don't know what you went through, but you're regaining your balance. And not only are you regaining your balance, you're going to be happy. You're going to feel good about it. Okay. Again, some of you, this may have been after a divorce or after a breakup or something like that, separation that it took a toll on you financially. Something took a toll on most of my Saggies financially. And it could have been because of the addictions, the drugs, the alcohol, the whatever addictions that some of you may have dealt with may have put you, I mean, you could have been addicted to fucking shopping. It's fact, okay? Materialism, fact, okay? That is the devil. Materialism. Bondage. Some of you just were so busy, just anything, everything. It's almost like a manic kind of energy that I feel for some of you that you've had over the last several years. Well, prior to the last 3 to 5 years, going back for I don't know how long, possibly back to childhood, where with whatever happened to you and whatever experiences you've had, and you started that busy bee thing, going, because it keeps you from looking within and doing the work. You decided to change that. Start doing the work. And that's when you come that's when you come back home. 9 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles. Balanced, aligned, and these are things that you've been asking for. Fulfillment financially, financial independence, and emotional independence, feeling good about who you truly are again. And that's what calls in a partnership. I love you all. Damn, this is a lot longer than I expected. We're already at 107:17, baby. Let's see. Tell me about this. Okay. Oh. Okay, Saggies. Again, some of you could have been dealing with a Cancer. You might have it heavily in your chart. Some of you, your moms are Cancers. You may have Cancer heavily in your chart. But Fred is giving me a story here. This one. Oh, the Hermit. Oh, I'm going to save that. I'm so excited. Okay, anyway. Listen. Some of you, and I am not trying to trigger anybody, but this is a deep dive. You never know what you're going to get here. Some of you dealt with very unloving. Some of you dealt with, make it easy, Fred, please, on me, not just them. Some of my Saggies dealt with very unloving, feminine authority figures. Whether that been your parents, your grandparents, siblings, aunts, uncles, relationships, spouses, girlfriends, whatever. Authority figures or people that were important to you. Get past this, please, Fred. Some of you grew up in very, you lack, I don't want to say that. Some of you, that hard knock life or that lack life was because you grew up in environments that were not emotionally nurturing. Okay? They weren't very loving. They didn't, your connections, some of you, it could have been your childhood, some of you could have been your relationships and stuff, where those connections did not nurture your emotions, your emotional side. A lot of my Saggies, you're telling me, some of you didn't know what emotions were. Some of you didn't know. Some of you were not allowed to express your emotions. Fuck. Listen, I thought the deep dive was over. Okay? I thought it was over. It's not. And we're going a little bit deeper here. This is where it hits you. So some of my Saggies, you dealt with a childhood, or you dealt with people in your life that did not nurture your loving side. They didn't return your love. They didn't love you on the level that you loved. Your emotions weren't allowed to be expressed. You were only allowed to give so much of yourself. And I'm going to tell you right now, the majority of my Saggies emotionally, although there's hardly any emotions that have shown up in this except for the 10 of Cups, and then here at the end, the 9 of Cups, which is telling me you're getting back to home. This is home. This is what you're telling me right now. This is what you're coming home to. Your emotions is what I told you. It's a new chapter. It's a new cycle. It's a beginning of something new. It's not a beginning of something new. It's renewing for you because you've done the deep healing. You've gone into hermit mode. You've done the deep healing. So you're telling me, yes, I have done some serious emotional healing. Some serious healing of my emotional wounding. The wounding for most of you Saggies, you're showing me, you're telling me that you are emotionally an overgiver. You're an extreme nurturer. Very loving. Creating an environment of love and nurturing is very important to you. And the majority of you overgave in childhood, and you did not have a problem expressing your emotions until something specific happened. So this is this is repetitious, not only in childhood for some of you, but with different relationships throughout your life. So when you aren't able to express yourself 100% on an emotional level, your growth is stunted to a degree, or you can turn it a different way. It can go into a depression, or it can go into a rage, an anger or bitterness or resentment because people don't want your love. You understand? So you only give just enough, just a little bit of yourself. But I told you, when things like this happen, this would have been like, you're such a loving, giving, nurturing being, and you try and do and create an environment of love, and people don't want that. That's the King of Swords reversed, King of Wands reversed. They don't want it. They don't have nothing to do with it. They're very vindictive. They're very malicious. They're very, narcissistic tendencies. They're cold. They're callous. They're manipulative. That is not a conducive environment for a loving and nurturing individual. It's going to turn you bitter, resentful, or inward, depressed, to where you're turning your emotions. Most Saggies said, fuck that shit. I'm going to express it in other ways. So that's when you started behaving badly. Not badly. Toxic behaviors, bad habits, things like that. Okay. And then from that point on is when you only give enough of yourself. You just give just enough. Some of you could have been dealing with a Virgo, a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. It doesn't matter who. This is your story. You'll resonate. Please remember to like, share, subscribe if the vibes are for you. You're healing this. Okay? Because two things happen. You either become resentful or angry or bitter. And I feel like most of my Saggies have turned that anger, that bitterness, and resentment towards people. You don't want my love. You don't want my love. I'm not good enough for you. You don't want my love. You don't want what I have to give. That's not the case. You were dealing with individuals who couldn't return your love. Okay? Motherfuckers. This is a huge life lesson right here in what I'm about to say to you. Please, I'm not calling you motherfuckers. I'm saying this is life lessons. And they're really tough. They're really hard. Motherfuckers to learn. But this is what you've been going through for the majority of you. Here's the deep dive right here at the end. I'm going to have to come up for air real quick. Fred's about to take over. All right, here we go. For the most of Sagittarius that are resonating with this story, most of you that are resonating with this story, this backstory, the majority of you have lived a life where you're trying to express yourself and nurture and love your people, care for your people, show your emotions, show your love and generosity through your emotions. Yes, you're a fire sign, but your actions were taken through, and your emotion and love was taken through your actions. And the majority of people that you've dealt with in your life weren't capable of returning the level of love that you had to give. Your level of love is a Queen of Cups, which is the most loving, just under the Empress. The most loving queen, male or female. But you turned it inward. You lost the love. You lost that love and feeling because nobody reciprocated it. No one could give you what you have to give, what you had to offer emotionally. So you began paging that shit. I'll just give you a sip. I'll just give you a sip. I'll just give you a little bit of my attention. Because you became resentful that people didn't love you on your level. And this could have been something that you were taught in childhood or in relationships. Who you are isn't enough. What you are isn't enough. How you love people isn't good enough. This is major emotional wounding. So some of you may be going through therapy. Some of you may be taking this time to realize this. But the Empress is full on 100% in the nurturing power and does not give a fuck. If you don't return it, you don't return it. Someone will. I don't need another person to return it. I am solid, well on my own. You're telling me right here, 9 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles. This is major arcana for exactly the feeling of this. I am strong enough well on my own to satisfy my own cups and to be my own person. And I am totally at peace with who I truly am. 100%. This is you coming home to yourself. This is you coming into balance and in terms with your love. And this is finding that person that returns your love on your level. This is that return on your level. 10 of Cups. Okay. So Fred is saying the majority of you have dealt with people in your life that either squelched you, shut you down, or didn't accept your love on your level, and it caused a lot of burdens. Okay? Right, Mary? Right? And what happens is when people aren't capable of returning your love on your level, it hurts. It hurts deeply. But instead of saying, at the time and in the past, what you've done, now moving forward, you're recognizing it differently. It's redirection. It's not that those people didn't love you. They just couldn't love you the way you wanted them to or needed them to. They weren't on your level. They couldn't return the capacity of your fucking cup. They couldn't fill your cup. They could not. They couldn't do it. Not in the ways that you can. And this is actually really intense. This is an intense feeling because I feel you coming, you've ran away from it for quite some time. That's what the busyness was and the running was. You don't want to face it. Well, here's the facts, and I'm giving it to you today. That's the emotional healing. And you took your time to heal. You've done the deep healing here. You know you are wiser now, and you have done the deep healing necessary that eliminated these wounds, okay? So what happens is, instead of thinking that these people were out to get you, or they didn't love you, or you weren't worthy of love, or you were unlovable, you were on a level that most people don't ever reach. You were, from probably a young age, from probably childhood, you were on an emotional level that most people today, as adults, aren't able to fulfill. They aren't able to connect with and understand. So, when you get back to you and you come home to self and you realize that you're one badass loving individual and that you got a whole lot of love to give and that you're tired of just giving just a little bit, that people only want just a little bit of my love, there's a shift here that happens, and you're seeing it clearly. It's investments. Who do I invest in? Who did I invest in? What kind of investments did I invest in? Recognizing what you've done and healing through this all over the last 5 years. You've been doing a lot of work. And this is a beautiful, beautiful thing where you understand that it's not me that wasn't worthy. It's not me that wasn't enough. They weren't enough to complete me. Not that you're not incomplete. They weren't enough to fulfill me. They weren't enough to fulfill my cup. They weren't enough for me. It's not the other way around. But for the majority of your life, most of you are telling me you went crazy, you got upset, you've been bitter and angry, resentful, maybe even depressed and sad and carrying a lot of emotional wounding because you have such a big capacity for love. One of the biggest. One of the biggest. People didn't accept your love. People didn't accept you for who you are. You're realizing this in 2023, that it's not the fact that you weren't enough for them, that you weren't worthy enough for them. They weren't good enough for you. It's not that they weren't good enough. It's they were not capable of returning the amount of love that you require, okay, to fulfill your cup, because your cup is that big. You need to be somebody on your level. You need somebody on your level so much that this is what you're getting in 2023. A 10 of cups situation with somebody that can fill your cups. You both match cups. 10 is 5 and 5. You both bring full cups to the table. You bring a full match set. Emperor and Empress. That is your divine partner. How do I know? The Lovers is at the bottom of the deck. It's a lover situation. This is a divine partnership. This is somebody who is on your level and can completely fulfill that one cup that is needed to make the 10 of cups for you. This person can do it because they are your perfect match. That is 10 of cups, divine masculine, divine feminine, and universe spirit here, making the third energy with the Lovers. And there's taking a leap of faith in it. Okay? Taking a leap of faith in it because it's a new beginning for you. This is absolutely beautiful. I don't know what to say. I haven't gone over time. I'm just unbelieving of this. This is probably one of the most beautiful readings I've absolutely seen, with as much pain that I feel most of you have ran from in your life. You've ran from the pain. That's why you were so busy. You were running from, if you resonate with this story, this backstory, the emotional pain, the depths of the pain that you suffered, the pain that you carried, you ran from it as fast and as far as you could. Maybe you were in and out of toxic relationships. Maybe you were, drugs and alcohol and sex and everything else, whatever. You were so busy running from the emotional pain. You ran so fast and you ran so far that eventually you put time and distance between you and the pain that allowed the resistance to kind of go away. Okay? But the fact of the matter is that fog is lifting and you're the one that's decided to slow your life down. You stopped running. I'm tired of running. I'm tired of going. I'm tired of moving. I'm tired of all of it. The last 3 to 5 years, most of you have slowed your ass down to the point where in 2023, that fog is going to be lifting for you completely, where you're able to see where you've invested your time, what you've done, what you've overcome, and it's not going to affect you on an emotional level. It's not going to piss you off. It's not going to make you angry. I mean, some of you maybe, but you're going to recognize this, that it's not that they didn't love me. They did. But my level of love is up fucking here, and their level of love is down here. You can't stay together in situations where that is the case. I don't care if it's family ships, friendships, or love ships, y'all. There's an imbalance. Major imbalance. So what happens is you took a dive and you went to a place inside of yourself because it hurt. The gap between you and them was pain. It caused pain for you because they couldn't show you on your level how much they couldn't return your love to you on that level. So that gap causes pain. Okay? Because you're trying to pull that person to you or those people to you, and they cannot fulfill the depth of your fucking soul. They cannot fill. They cannot fill your depths. That's how deep you are emotionally. So what happens? Redirection happens, and the universe takes somebody off your path. What else happens? They're replaced with somebody else. But if you're a divine individual, if you are divine masculine, divine feminine, somebody else comes in, there's still a gap there. The next person comes in, still a gap there. But at a certain point, you dropped your emotions down here so low because you accepted. Yeah, I mean, you were just given just a little bit of love because there was such pain. You allowed the pain to shrink you down, and you only gave out so much love. Regardless, your depths, your divine emotional depths are still up here. So you're calling in people that are above your level now, okay? Because you've done the healing here, but you're still giving out just enough love. I'm just giving out scraps, little pieces of love, just a little bit. But you've put so much time and distance between you and what it is you truly want or what it is you're attracting because you have such an emotional depth. You're calling in somebody on your level, but you're just giving out just a little bit of love. So this year, you're actually going to recognize where you're at and what it is you're doing, and you're calling in your true partnership because you're recognizing how deep your fucking emotions run, how deep you are, how loving you are, and you're accepting the fact that you are your own authority, that you can be both strong and both loving. You can be firm and compassionate, and you can be loving and nurturing. You get to choose who you want to be. You're coming to terms with who you truly are at your depths, the depths of your soul. You're recognizing who you truly are. You're coming back home to self, balancing 50-50 masculine and feminine, and you're okay with it. Because I'm going to tell you, a lot of times, how do I put this without... This has happened to you multiple times. You may have had one parent that was extremely loving and beautiful to you and allowed you to express who you truly are, you know? Or a grandparent or something like that. This is just an example, but this is how I'm feeling it, so maybe you'll be able to understand what I'm saying. And then the other parent you can't feel that way. You're not allowed to feel that way. I don't want it. I don't need it. And you're just trying to express your love, whether it be with hugs or kisses or, wild flowers that you pick from the yard, and you're never good enough. It's not enough, or it's always disregarded. Drawing pictures, something like that, whatever it is and however it is, it's like wanting to be up in one of their laps, for cuddles or whatever. And you are you're being pushed down or pushed away all the time, pushed down, pushed away all the time. There's never any emotional exchange there. It's very cold. But the other parent is very loving and understanding and allows you to express your love. The other one is not. You could have been dealing with a depressed or mentally ill parent, and then one that wasn't. So whatever the dynamic is, it confuses you emotionally because you're not really sure what do I do? Do I do this or do I don't do this? And how do I do this? What's appropriate here? You're confused. But I want to open up and express who I am. I want to open up and love how I want to love fully. I want to show someone who I fully am 100%. And you're always being told no, or it's not enough, or I need something different. That hurts. It sucks. And then it hurts. I feel it. It hurts. Your emotional depth is not being able to be expressed, or it hasn't been. And that's what caused a lot of this. And you are now coming to terms with who you are and accepting the fact that you can be who it is you want to be. It's redirection, that there will be and is someone on your level eventually. And maybe it's because you actually have a higher purpose or a higher calling for some of you. For others of you, it's just people can only give what they can give. And if it's not on your level, there's typically redirection. And the universe takes people out of our life or off of our trail because there's somebody else that will and that can. Okay? But this was a situation where, or situations where you allowed that pain to get you moving and to get you moving so fast that you didn't have to look at it. But you have finally caused yourself to slow down enough to where you're willing to take a look at it. And this is absolutely beautiful. You are rebuilding. Some of you are getting new jobs. That your finances are going to be improving. This is, a true partnership. 10 of Cups, coming back home. And this could be home to your soul's true mate. True partnership. True love. That's intense. And I am very proud of you for those of you that are overcoming toxic parenting, toxic people, toxic past, all of it. And being able to truly and 100% accept and value yourself for who you are. Because once you do, that's when you attract people that truly value you. Them's the words, them's the messages. Until next time, y'all know the deal. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Check out my description box. I got some gifts down there for you. Check out my new book, Oh Please Be Your Own Hero. It is a manifesting survival guide. I teach you how to not only live your best life, but how to feel better and manifest better at the same time. It's a self-help life coach. It's me in your pocket. Although the book doesn't fit in your pocket unless you got a really big pocket. But anyway, that was intense. What's up, y'all? Juju B says, thank you for the beautiful, loving reading. Feather, you rock. Oh, thank you. I love that green heart. Different vibrations. Yep. Things don't happen to you. They happen for you. That is absolutely. What's up, Blue? Hey, babe. I'm just ending. You got to rewind it, baby. I love you too. Absolutely do appreciate you. Absolutely. That was an intense. I mean, y'all had me on a fucking roller coaster there. Emotional roller coaster, but it's okay. I love y'all enough to do these readings. All right, now we're done with the 12 zodiacs. For those of you that are still here watching, we're done with the 12 zodiac signs for 2023 deep dives. Guess what's next? You versus them deep dives. I haven't done this one yet. So I will be starting those this weekend. You versus them deep dives. I am so excited. I can't wait. So that'll be over the next couple weeks. We'll be doing the 12 zodiacs, going through those. Somebody, anybody, everybody, I love y'all. Them's the words, them's the messages. Y'all know me. It's time for me to get out of here. I know, I can't wait either. We're going to start with Capricorn because it's still Capricorn season, so. Voodoo Ninjas in the house. Voodoo Ninjas in the house as I'm leaving. So, if you're a replay rock star, thumbs up. Possibly subscribe and leave me an awesome comment. Until next time, I'm Feather. Namaste, you guys.